I come for income.
becomes.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let me just ban him real quick.
Welcome. Oh, I had to turn the other one off. Jesus.
Wow, what an intro. All that money that you're saving from StreamYard, you're putting into making those intros. I appreciate it.
I know how to make the Lil Yachty intro, so it took me like a little bit of time to figure out.
I'm the closest thing to Lil Yachty in the YouTube, the finance game. I don't know who would be the second. I'm not going to cross that line here. It's early.
We have you now surrounded for the intervention.
Yeah.
So Fabio has some prepared statements.
I do. Yeah.
No.
I guess. Yeah. Hold on, let me...
2 pairs of underpants on for this one. That's not good.
All right. Time to read it out. No, I have nothing prepared. What's this an intervention on?
It's a good.
What is he doing?
His obsession with the high yielders.
I don't have an obsession with high yielders. I've only been buying SHG.
You say free money all the time. You can't
Oh, yeah,
stop.
Sorry. No. I apologize. Yeah. Free money. It's free money. You'd be stupid not to do it, actually. You got to put that mindset out there.
So I noticed you did a Tesla video almost at the same time I did last year. Were you like your first Tesla video where you were, I think, making fun of it like I was?
Oh, yeah.
So, so what did you think when you first saw that one?
I saw yours or
no, the Tesla. When you first saw the Yield Max Tesla video.
I'm trying to think. This was probably before Khmer, but yeah, it was before him. It was my more popular video. It was literally a year ago now that I did it, and I just called them all like shit, and kind of stated the obvious. Yeah, that one.
This one.
And then like you go in the comments. That's the best part. Go in the comments, and it's just like. But then you get like a crazy reaction, like you're pulling a WWE heel move, and it just feeds into it, and that's where you start.
Look at that guy. Tesla's best investment I made in 25 years.
Yeah.
Pretty bad investing.
See, if you were petty like me, you would go back and you would reply to all these like a year.
Oh, I did.
And be like this age nicely.
Not a year and a half ago, but I probably should now because like, I mean that's not long term enough to like, but it's
one guy. Like one guy specifically bugged me because he called me an emotional investor because I said Warner Brothers Discovery was garbage.
Oh, not McDonald's.
He called me emotional, so I waited until it like tanked one day, and then I went back and responded to him. It was like, "How's this aging for you, buddy?" But
yeah, you and Dividend Dude gotta get a debate going. I want to see it happen this year. Yeah.
What is the debate?
McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
I'll moderate it. We could debate McDonald's. We could debate is Joseph Carlson ethics.
What's his ethics?
He has some similar tendencies to Joseph Carlson. Similar timing in and out of some companies, some certain companies.
So you free things.
Obviously the long-term sentiment and the patience that Joseph Carlson obtains and has, he obtains that one could say. But yeah, we love double D's.
I only specifically was people like conflate. I was mocking him for his very weird opinion about McDonald's on earnings, which weren't great earnings, but it was like the first bad earnings they've had in years. And then he's like dunking on this company. Like it's a dead company. He did the same thing Joseph Carlson did. Like, oh, customers are leaving because one quarter was bad. And then a company like that has levers to pull. Like, and you should be analyzing the levers a company can pull, right, to adapt to hard times. Like it's not, they won't triple beat every goddamn quarter if you hold something for 10 years. Like you
gotta
can't
look
be
at
a
the 5-year
long-term
chart.
investor if you get so negative after one bad quarter. Like you'll never be a long-term investor. I mean, you with Starbucks know the pain. So
Target.
The
Target's
triple
the real
cross,
one.
Ryan.
Starbucks,
The triple cross.
yeah. Starbucks, I could be the cult leader, but Target's like the secret gem in there. Because Joseph Carlson's been real quiet about that one. Although it's been going down, so I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a tweet of him comparing it to Costco again. We haven't had that one in a while, but yeah.
So you were
That's how
in
you know.
Target before they dropped?
You don't want to know what
Because
price I got in at Target. It was bad. But I averaged down, and now I'm in a gain, so you don't want to know what price I started.
So you had like a singular event happen to this company, right? The theft issues, which just hit everybody. Like,
Oh, I owned it way before that.
yeah.
I owned it.
Like,
Don't tell me it's over 200.
no.
Wait,
what?
I
Well,
didn't
how
know as
old are
much
you?
about it as I knew investing.
You were,
This was
you were
2021. 2021. I bought it 220, perhaps after Christmas, but I continued averaging down. I'm fine now. So
good. Congratulations.
yeah, my 8% gain. I don't want to brag.
That's good. You earned that.
I mean, comparing to some of the other people we're going to be talking about tonight, 8% gain that's a 10x. So I'll take it.
Oh yeah.
But like what happened to them is not like, it wasn't something that was going to, like the core of their business was not damaged by this issue. They were going to get through it.
It was
you didn't know how long it would take, but
yeah.
And I held stuff like Tractor Supply and Home Depot, so I know about like the theft issues. But it's like this couldn't go on forever. It was a very small like situation, I thought, and politically they would get harder on these thefts, which they did, and inflation comes down, which takes some pressure off this, hopefully. And
yeah, there was a rumor that their CEO Brian Cornell actually dropped the people's elbow on some thieves in Texas. He dropped the people's elbow right on him, and then he did a stone cold stunner to him. And thankfully, they took over the $999 amount of inventory, so they could legally do it.
Yeah, Home Depot like locks up all their equipment now, and they put those like loud sensors, and they have like the camera towers in the parking lots. So it's like it looks like a generator with like a light pole. So it's kind of disguised. I've seen them at the Home Depots, but really it's like a security camera system, and they can get your license plate. So they're getting better at this stuff, which I think they're back over $400.
Yes, they're rising up.
Home Depot's eternal.
Matt, the dividend profits, smiling on that one. That's making up for a Celsius free money call.
Dude, I'm waiting on my buy and sell alerts. Like, man, I keep asking, and he thinks I'm joking around. I'm seriously wanting free money. He told me Celsius was free money. At $70. I'm waiting.
At 70, ouch.
Or 70s, 80, around there, somewhere right now.
So I'm curious. So you were a dividend investor first, like like hardcore dividend investor when you started?
Yeah, like Gen X dividend investor, that kind of hardcore.
Okay, I was gonna say who inspired you when you started?
Dividend Data, but I don't know. He's a bit of a bum.
I know him. I know it well.
Yeah,
that was like one of the first channels I found.
Yeah, that guy, I liked him a lot, but not recently. Then like you get like addicted, you get that like the 42-cent dividend from Colgate, and you get a little horned up, if you know what I mean. And then like, and like it's just a ripple effect. Like you shouldn't be.
No, it just hits your brain when you get you think it's like bonus money almost, and you're like, it's bigger. I can get more.
Yeah. And then there's the period of neglection where you don't want to acknowledge, like deep down that like you should probably be going in index funds or ETFs, and he's just like, nope, got that target dividend, reality income. But like now I'm just going into ETFs and like a few stocks.
Yeah. So how has your strategy shifted? How's your philosophy changed since you started investing?
Do anything that fiscal philosophy is not doing. Number one. Number two, yeah.
Oh, drama.
Yeah. Don't worry. He's not watching right now. He's out with one of his lady boy friends, or maybe he's at a high school football game trying to get some new game. No, but in all seriousness, it's just like more ETF based approach right now. It's like SHD and SHG. I'm obviously more SHG, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. And then you'll have like the occasional. I bought like probably 5 different stocks over the last like half a year, which is like Visa, Amazon, added some Disney, and yeah, those 2 others off the top of my head, but I forget.
Have you found yourself kind of liking a particular sector more than others, or you're just trying to collect them all like a Pokemon, whatever comes around?
Like that's how I was at first, dude. I was doing the Gen X dividend investor. I'm trying to get every sector and like do the equation, multiply it by 2, and divide by 1/2, and that's how much exposure you gotta get. But like, no, I made that.
He has
up
a formula?
No,
Oh,
it was a joke. They kind of do that though. They all kind of do that, where it's like, but like, there's no reason for me to be investing in Southern Company.
Oh yeah, there's no, yeah, definitely not.
No, but I don't know. I really like financials. That's kind of the one. And then like tech is fun, but I don't. I see Joseph Carlson and I don't like it as much.
Well, don't worry, because him being in the same stocks as you is fine. It's just like he gets scared at like the wrong
Yeah.
times.
It only goes up when he owns it.
Good old Gen X. He Fabio, what did you say? He's your idol except for crippling illness.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to
really
be
is though.
everything.
This guy, he
Yeah.
doesn't pay taxes. Like he's doing what like these dividend people should be like. This should be all of our idol. This guy, like he is living off the dividends. He doesn't pay taxes because they're all qualified. But he was an index investor. Did you know that?
No.
When he was working. So yeah,
No.
he was an index investor while he worked, and then when he got to retirement, he then transitioned to dividends, so he could live off them. So I've never paid for his course though, so I think he hides his portfolio behind his paywall now. Because this is like,
I used to not like that guy at all, because he, like 4 or 5 years ago, he banned me from his Discord because
Who?
I had like
what?
Gen X dividend investor. Yeah, I swear to God, like 4 or
What did
5
you do
years
to that
ago.
man?
That's how I started the channel, dude. I wanted to start the channel, and then like he's like very strict about banning people on his Discord. I don't know why. And I think there was a channel that was like YouTube creators, and I posted a link of my channel and I got banned, and like that I was really pissed off about it. Like part of me was being like being a little edgy about it, just because I was like 14 or 15 at the time, but and I was like going after the man. I'm like calling him out for boxing matches and stuff. I'm acting like Gil, and like there's just no need for that. But like, I don't know. And then I apologized like 3 years later, and like a year or 2 ago, he reinstated me back. But like, that kind of happens when you like look up to like some of these channels. Like it happened with Joseph Carlson too. Like if you like watch these people somewhat religiously, not that I was compared to some people, but like you watch some of these people and then like you stop watching them, or you have like, I don't want to say you're worshiping them, but like for a prolonged period of time, you're not on good terms. You start watching again, you don't view it the same way. It's crazy. And unfortunately that didn't happen with Khmer. I never really got that point where I was watching religiously, but yeah.
I was originally in Joseph Carlson's Patreon for like 2 years, and
Poor guy.
I was trying to like, I kept trying to inch, like, because you could talk to him back. I don't know if he's active in it anymore. He was pretty active in that.
Yeah,
Discord.
I was in it for like a month or 2.
Yeah. So like I was kind of like, man, you should like think about some like in some industrials, because he's like, I'm like, you're a software guy and you keep buying tech stocks, and that's all he had. But then he kept telling me like he's not comfortable with that type of investment. And then he finally bought like a railroad, which was like something. But then the last straw for me was when he sold Domino's for Estee Lauder. I'm like, I'm like, I don't know why, but it just bugged the shit out of me, because it was so I could like
because Domino's has debt. They have debt. They're horrible.
Yeah. So his whole complaint about Domino's was that they had too much debt, and that was bad. Debt is bad. I'm like, there's nuance to this. Like Domino's has to carry debt due to their system, like the franchise system they operate.
Estee Lauder has debt.
Yeah. It's like, and then it was at a crazy multiple at the time when he bought it years ago, and it tanked. There was a certain point where after he bought it, Estee Lauder tanked and Domino's was like surging. And I had enough of it at that point. I don't know why that one bugged me so much. It just,
you get banned, or did you leave?
No, I just well, I sent him a message saying I was like annoyed, and then I just left it. I'm not banned, I don't think, but
he remembers.
I leave him nice comments. I want to I will interview him. It will happen.
With all the times that Fiscal's made fun of him, call him like a lesbian Justin Bieber, he's never coming onto our show, dude. I try to keep it like I try to keep it neutral now because we're on friendly terms. He occasionally likes one of my posts. He liked a few CFK posts before. And
you attacked him too about what did you attack him about?
Target. Target. I had to defend Target.
Wasn't
That's how I got blocked? He was comparing Target to Costco coincidentally right after Target went down after the whole theft thing.
Yeah.
And he like pulled up the 5-year performance. I'm like, dude, you can't be doing this. And then I said, you have an emotional bias against companies that have short-term price fluctuations or whatever. And he took that as like a personal insult and blocked me. So then, like, out of the blue, like 6 months ago, I see a new message from Joseph Carlson on Twitter, and I'm like, oh boy, what's about to happen? Because I think I referenced him in one of our shows. I'm like, oh, I hope this didn't get to him. And he was like, I'd like to apologize for, the rocky start we had or something. But like, good for him. I don't know. Good. Some people would never do that.
Like, I got annoyed because like 5 months ago he was talking nicely about McDonald's, and then like a month ago when they had earnings, he was just dunking on them all of it. So kind of like what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
So he did the same shit the dividend dude did.
Yeah. The worst is when you're actually losing money on it. Like, I don't think that's fault. Like, he loves to just shove it in your face, like especially when stocks are down. And I don't think it's for like Twitter engagement. I don't know if it's for engagement or just he likes the fact that he's right and you're wrong. But like, I don't know. I can't really get on board with that. I'd never celebrate a stock's downfall unless it's yield max.
Ryan, you weren't around during his Netflix era, right? Original
like
Netflix era?
2021, 22?
2021 through 2022.
I was there.
I even made a montage of it.
I believe I was there.
He went from like super bullish at like 600, and then it's like at 500, he's like, everything is fine. 300, 400, everything is fine. 300, everything is fine. 200, I don't think everything is fine. I'm scared. And that was the bottom. And then he didn't add when it was at that bottom. He only added after it recovered. So he never got really the nice basis of. And then he thinks that Netflix is his success. That's what bothered me. I'm like, you doubt it so hard.
I'm shocked he hasn't sold Vici yet. I would have thought he'd sold it by now, especially with the interest rates and how like the REITs have just been staggering.
That one was kind of weird because when he was buying it, I'm like, they're in Las Vegas. That's it. They're casinos. And then they started like expanding into other like sports venues. And I think it was like a ski lodge.
Yeah. We got Little League facilities.
So they have like a mission statement in their 10K. And like they went outside of like the mission statement of the company. the same as Realty Income did, actually. And I think that was part of the problem with like Realty Income started doing the same thing. They started going outside of what they said, like the mission statement of their business, like what they're buying. That
They're
seems to be
too big.
yeah.
Yeah, if you buy Vici, and hopefully if they acquire some properties, perhaps maybe in Kansas City area, if they get some of those Little League facilities, technically you'd be the boss of Tactical Shoe Shiner. Just think about it. That's enough to invest. That's enough to invest.
Oh, that guy.
I might full court. He's in the hospital right now, apparently. He's not doing too well.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The stress of his lies, I guess. I don't know.
Remember, right?
Mhm.
Continue.
No. I was just gonna say, like, when you guys told me he was 49, I mean, I was in disbelief. So I felt like he appears as though he had some sort of like he's talked, I think, in some videos that he's like destroyed his body from doing things. So maybe he is 49 and he just looks like he's approaching 70. That happens,
Yeah,
but
I wonder if it's from that champagne bottle that he posts from 25 years ago when he's trying to flex. You just can't be doing that.
I just found he's like some of the stuff he's talked about. Like if you go back, funds that he used to talk about that he doesn't anymore, I'll take like the funds he said he bought, and I'll like just follow where the stock market goes. And like he was talking about Defiance for a while, then he sold it all, and he's like, "But I did okay." And I'm like, I look at the chart, I can see the Defiance funds got smashed in the time frames of him owning it. They performed terribly, and it's a silly freaking ETF anyways. Those Defiance the put strategies they were running, like just stupid. And then,
yeah, we'll have Sylvia from Defiance come on the show tonight, Dan. You got to make that call. You get the emails all loaded up.
I could get any of that. They go on 200 sub channels.
Yeah,
Dude, they would come on our channels so fast if we asked.
It's like the school slut. Like, there's not much barrier of entry to, acquire them.
Oh, yeah. Then the Rex Shares guy wants to give me T-shirts, and they invited me to something. I don't know what they.
We should go. We should all totally go to the next one. If we all get invites, we should totally just pull up and just troll the shit out of it.
I could go to the New York City ones if they do those events.
I need to. Yeah, we could. I'll drive down. I'll pick you up.
We'll hold signs up. It's you sit on a throne of lies. I don't even know how I would start if I brought Jay on. I would, because I don't want to right away tell him to F off. I'd have to see Fabio's better at this than me. Like the slow burn, like getting to that end. I'm usually just like, go to hell, you.
The best way is to make the other person just dig their own grave. You don't even have to say anything. The audience just knows. It's over.
Episode 32.
What? You guys are
episode 32.
Oh, surviving episode 32. Yeah.
That was a great thing.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
So I looked into his background too, because holy shit, that dude is. There's some tangled stuff there. So
he actually does have a cult, it seems.
Oh,
I think a lot of it's just him and his he has bots and stuff comment on stuff, but I think he does have.
We thought too. We thought that too until
people came on.
People actually came. Yeah. I was shocked.
I wonder how their AMZ is doing to Amazon.
Right the things I do for a recession.
But remember, every time it goes down, he does a video and says that he was ready for it, and he did things to make it, so it didn't hurt him or something. I lose track of this shit. Okay, let's see. Amazon. It's the same silliness as all the yield max funds. Okay.
Wow.
No. How you like? I didn't do total. Oh, sorry. Total return. Well, there you go. Yeah. All that effort to underperform, pay all those taxes. And And even if they do return to capital where you're not paying the taxes, you are still incurring a tax liability that's just going to be deferred to the future. So even if so regardless, they're screwing themselves like by the taxes. So any CPA would like tell you what the F are you doing if you tried to buy these things. I can only imagine. Like
Gil's in the audience. Gil, we haven't even begun the 5 years, really.
what did Gil say?
He says I have a gentleman's apology in 5 years if AMZ outperforms Amazon.
The only way AMZ would outperform Amazon, Gil, Amazon would have to like rise very slowly, like in the future. No volatile dips up or down. Like just gently, slowly go up like 5%. That's the only way it'll outperform.
Yeah,
like one specific type of market scenario.
Stocks aren't volatile, Dan.
Yeah.
They're never volatile. They don't. They do just perfectly straight line.
Fabio, listen, Amazon has never been cut in half before.
Never.
Right? Fake
Never
news.
happened.
It's never happened.
Just don't zoom in 3 years. Don't do the 3 year chart, please. Whatever you do, do not click 3Y.
Yeah. Oh god.
Just avoid clicking that. Please, no.
Oh god. Oh, Jesus. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
This is not how this was supposed to go.
Yeah.
No.
And it's funny, it's like the next time this happens, you're gonna see the big gap form between Amazon and AMZ. That's the big gap because Amazon could recover. AMZ will never recover.
Yeah.
So,
and they didn't even live through this because it started after this big dip. So they've only had a lot of these option strategies came out after 2023 where they didn't experience like a real downtrend. And they already are on the verge of margin calls. It's like when this happens again, all those people are just done. It's over.
non-recovery.
No, they'll never recover. All those people in Keemer's thing, like hundreds of millions of dollars, they'll just be gone. Poof. And we can just sit it out. We can just wait and we'll get out of it. We'll be fine. So
I wanted to ask you, gentlemen, because we brushed on the ticker, but I also noticed it sold off recently. Domino's Pizza. What's going on with this one?
The market finally realizes they have too much debt. That's all I have to say.
The market finally realized it.
Would you guys actually want to have those yield max? Any of the fund managers on your shows? Just waste of time.
I feel like
we talked about this before, kind of in capital mindset, but
I polled the people in the club, and no one was like, "No, please, we don't really care for that kind of content." Because everyone thinks it's like, just.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go.
I don't know what the point of talking to them about. Like, you can read the filings. Like, they can't really say much else other than that. I don't know. Like, you think you're gonna get them and it got you? Like, it doesn't matter.
You just gotta ask Jay about his college experience. It's the only question he hasn't been asked so far.
Well, I mean, I'm in a similar boat to what he did, actually. So,
I
can't be throwing stones.
It's okay. You don't own any yield max. You can get away with it.
Wait, Gil, what makes you say that? Gil's randomly saying something. No, the second one.
It's Jeremy copying your stocks. Jeremy's burner accounts are so funny.
Has he been? No, but no. Amazon is like anyone, but his timing on Amazon's different from mine. Alphabet also same thing.
Buddy's pulling up the Mag 7 right now as plagiarizing stocks.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most bought companies.
Yeah, when in doubt, just buy large cap tech.
Well, when in doubt, buy large cap tech when everyone panics and then forgets what they do.
Mm-hmm.
and then suddenly a year later, everyone's back in it. Yeah. But then stop and then let them bid up your stocks.
So, okay. I had one question I wrote down. So are you going into some sort of financial career, you think, or you kind of don't know?
I don't know. I'm gonna try graduating with finance, but like, correct me if I'm wrong, but if like you want to have to like manage people's monies, or I sound like Khmer right now. I have to manage people's monies. If I wanted to manage people's money, it would impact cash flow kings. I wouldn't be able to talk about it like legally. 2, you'd have to pass a whole bunch of CFA, CFP exams. That'd be cool because I could have that and put it next to my Discord name. So maybe I could have a little more like legitimacy there. That's a joke. But like, I don't know. I think equity analyst is like, I already kind of have an unfair competitive advantage from already like what I do a little bit. So that'd be interesting.
Interesting. What do you think of accounting so far?
Oh, fuck that. I can't say what I did.
Financial? Is it financial accounting?
It's accounting principles. So we're kind of getting into that right now, but the class is a scam. The professor makes us buy her own book that she wrote for $180, $250 at the bookstore, when all of our other books are on this one platform. That's a scam. I did do nice on my recent exam. Whether I cheated or not, I'm not going to say. I got an 87%. So let the people determine whether I did or not.
Almost all my accounting classes, they're like, you get one sheet of paper. You can write whatever you want on it. So like, because my professors were like, look, he's like, you don't have to memorize this stuff. You just have to know where to find it as an accountant. So
Yeah.
They didn't mess around with that. But yeah.
Didn't realize how powerful ChatGPT was until yesterday.
You guys got, oh my God.
Long Microsoft.
Yeah. I don't know. How do you trust it though? Because I've searched certain audit, like I've tried to search for stuff for my job, and some of the results are questionable. Like it looks like it's a legitimate what it wrote, and then I will click the source, go to the source, and I'm like, this source does not represent what it's telling me. About like
in my instance, I don't need it to be 100% accurate. It's a little too suspicious.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's a long ways off.
I would never
taking our gerbs, but we'll see.
Your exams work for home exams?
Yeah, I got the day off yesterday.
Beater Stocks is telling you to do accounting and finance.
I don't know. I would never do accounting. That would just, I'm sorry. I would.
Accountants can do every job in finance.
Yeah.
Finance people cannot do accounting. That's the big difference. So.
That's fair. The best thing that I've gotten better at in college so far is getting better using Excel. I can make a spreadsheet like dividendology.
When you, the FTC, step in and stop Jeremy Meat Breath Kevin, it's hurting actual customers, unlike big tech.
The FTC?
I think meet Kevin's end. I think house hack is the thing that could take him down. We'll see. Nothing seems to faze him. It doesn't seem to matter. So
think of a glass of Jack Daniels and his car could do the job.
Yeah. It's like he's afraid. No matter what we find, like what I find all sorts of dirt on Kevin. Nothing ever seems to matter. And I don't know how you could trust that man. But he deleted all the evidence. And I should have downloaded it. I didn't. Some of his stock analysis was so bad. Wait, what did he say? Get a degree in poli-sci so you can be a Chad like me. Like Echoes.
Nope.
Anyone notice that how Kevin stopped saying he's using house hack money to pay off for the jet?
Replenish next year. Like, gender. Oh God, gender studies. What have you done?
We need echoes versus strongman for the Trump versus Kamala presidential debate. We need one representative. Echoes can do Kamala, strongman can do Trump. I think that the ratings would be great.
Jesus, this is my biggest investment push, I guess you could call it, in the last 2 years is HVAC. So it's like the tailwinds of that industry are incredible. So I'm like, I got 3 of them. So HVAC is legit. But HVAC is the green future that Tesla is pretending it is. the HVAC companies are actually the decarbonization and green technology, and they're not political. So you're not like having each side bashing like EV chargers, and there's no sides with it, which is nice.
Which one's your favorite of your HVAC babies?
That's so tough. You got Tran as the best performer. Aeon is like my little tiny baby. I'm so proud of it. But like, Carrier is the prize winner, I think.
Carrier's a prize winner.
Carrier's bringing home the bacon, I think.
Someone's telling you about Owens Corning. It pulled back. Well, I was going to ask Ryan because what
I used to own Corning.
Yeah, I did too.
Really?
Me and Dan are by Corning, New York. We could. I see the highway sign sometimes.
The one thing that bothered me about Owens Corning, because I bought it at 70 and sold, I thought it was worth like 110, so sold like 105 or something. They had a lot of business in wind turbines, and I think it's kind of a shit business. So that's kind of why I sold it. And some of those projects are not working out, and they're canceling some of those wind turbine projects now. So I don't really want to be in it. But then some of the other stuff Owen Corning's does, like they have like they have this weird rebar they're trying to sell. It's like a pink rebar instead of steel. And I don't know. I don't think it's not that interesting of a business, like that part of it. But the home energy savings and the roofing shingles is better business. If you're going to play like housing, possibly could be a housing play.
And get Toll Brothers and pull a Jeremy.
Toll Brothers. Well, he doesn't own it. He sold it at the wrong time.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was going to ask you if you're a thematic investor. You said you liked financials. That's what you have. And when you say financials, like what are we talking? JP Morgan?
Visa, S&P Global.
Those are not. Those are like
real man's
that's more like fintech than financial.
Credit card companies. Yeah.
Yeah. Visa, 100%. It's not a financial.
They only collect credit card fees. That's their business. They're a credit card company.
Yeah, because they're not taking credit risk.
All right. Visa's fintech. Womp, womp.
Oh, yes. No, it's 100% fintech. Because when you say financials, I think you're saying like I don't know, like banks, insurance.
S&P Global is it? What's S&P Global? Is that data? You think?
That's more so on the tech side of things. It's like it's like yeah. I mean, they have a variety of businesses. They also do ratings. Because would you count Moody's as? It's like I bet you if you grab the correlation, there is some between the XLE, but it's not going to be that strong. It's not going to be that strong at all. It's not going to be a
restaurants too. Restaurants too. That's another big one. Restaurants. We love it. We love food.
I know you like Texas Roadhouse.
Sold it.
What restaurant do you own now?
Right now,
not Starbucks.
What do you think? Oh yes, McDonald's. I own McDonald's too. I think Starbucks and McDonald's are my only two right now. Domino's is always an interesting one though.
That's what I'm trying to ask you guys. Look at Domino's.
What do you think of it?
All right. Well, generally pizza should, in theory, be a good business. Domino's strategy seems to be focused on the value-oriented customer. So you really only have a few notable competitors. A couple of them are private. On the budget side, you have CC's Pizza. Well, not CC's, sorry, Little Caesars. CC's too. That's the all buffet. That's like, it used to be $7 to have all you can eat pizza. That's freaking crazy. But yeah, you have Little Caesars. Domino's is supposed to be a step up of that. Then you have Papa John's that doesn't know what it is, and they're competing against like your local pizza shop, while Domino's is clearly like the budget option. Franchise business model, a lot of attractive unit economics there. Generally speaking, you had in the past a lot of green fields regarding international expansion. I'd like to see how much of that is still untapped versus how much of that is now mature. I think United States. I these are assumptions I'm making, so I don't know the answers to this. I don't know if United States is still fully tapped out. It could be. Pizzas, there's a pizza shop everywhere. There's your local pizza shop. There's definitely a discount pizza shop around you.
Domino's bread is so good.
I haven't had Domino's in a very long time. I usually just eat at local pizza shops.
Yeah, I only do like Domino's in the summer, but now I'm feeding it.
So I've looked at Papa John's, Jim. Actually, we looked at it in the club like a month ago or 3 weeks ago. We were entertaining the idea of it because to Papa John's, pull up theirs. It's just pizza. They have the better ticker. So they actually have an acquisition. Oh, shit. It actually went up.
Damn.
Fucking hell. That was like literally the...
There's always the meme of the guy, the Papa John saying he ate like 40 pizzas in a month.
30 days.
His face is so, he's like a cherry in the photo.
But at what price were you thinking for Domino's? Because I remember when I took a look at it like a year or two ago, like $350 was really attractive. But we're thinking now at $420.
He's like in this interview saying he was eating pizza like every day, like taste testing it for quality. But
I respect that. It's a CEO I'd want to have.
Because they're growing earnings at just around 10%. That's what Sell-Side has penciled out, 10-11%. Yeah, you're paying up for this company. It's not the same opportunity it was that everyone kind of touts when they put Google and Domino's next to each other and say Domino's outperformed Google over this period of time because it's all about the valuation you pay for. But if you look at what you paid for Domino's way back when they both IPO'd, it was completely different. You weren't paying 30 times earnings, which is what you're paying now. So anyone buying
Amazon with that though.
Exactly. So then you get to your alternative. But we were asking about restaurant stocks. So
yeah, I mean Domino's is like it would have to drop up $350 would probably be the price where I'd like, all right, I'd probably dabble here, but there's no gaping urge to buy Domino's, unfortunately.
So $350, yeah, you're saying basically you'd pay roughly 20 times earnings.
$350, $370 now that you put it that way. Around there. Like $370 we're at $420 now. It's down 20% from its high.
Okay, so by the way, this is the thing with Papa John's. Why I was interested in it is go to the bottom of the chart. Oh, sorry, I meant the stock price, not
oh, I was like, what do you want to look at?
There was a spike right there, right after, like go to the very bottom of it, and then just a little bit after there was a spike. That spike there, that's the rumors surging that Restaurant Brands is going to be acquiring Papa John's here soon.
Oh.
And subsequently, I think that rally is basically the confidence that is in fact going to happen. That's completely within their wheelhouse. They're at the right size for them. They don't have a pizza brand. Their competitor, Yum Brands, has a pizza brand.
Tim Hortons is a pizza brand. You take that back right now.
Tim Hortons is trash.
What part of it? What part
All
of it's
of it.
trash?
All of it. The coffee's trash. They gave it.
Coffee's not trash. Take that back.
Coffee is trash. They sold
an
it to
uncultured Southern. That's what you are.
They sold it to McDonald's, and McDonald's coffee is the old Tim Hortons coffee, and they betrayed the Canadians when they did that.
Fake news.
Wait, oh my God, no way.
Tim's only messed up when they made the roll up the rim digital. It's even more rigged now. It's horrible.
Wait, there's a meme of this? No, damn it.
It's a cartoon gif.
I wonder if it's this. No, damn, I don't know. It's a meme.
Oh yeah, Jim just said the rumor in chat. Yeah, so restaurant stocks, I think they're oddly rallying. Even like, isn't Dart? How's Darden doing?
Oh my goodness. Darden?
Yeah, Darden, I think, is also, yeah, they've had a fairly good year. They're up, I'm saying the 1 year, they're up 15.7% in 1 year. And a lot of it is this recent rally since August. They from peak to trough, sorry, trough to peak, actually, 20 some odd percent. So I don't know. I don't really like. I see the value of what a restaurant stock can do. You have the whole Bill Ackman saying like, "Oh, restaurant stocks are very replicatable business models. Once you crack the code, you can just, start spawning them, and then you print money, right?" And I think that's true. Like there are restaurant stocks that are just phenomenal. There's the franchise model that McDonald's has dominated, and then there's the corporate store-owned model, which you could argue Starbucks and Chipotle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's hard for me to get excited for anything that's not McDonald's. I don't know. I just like, I look at these. I'm just like, these are just like failures compared to McDonald's model. Most of these things.
You take that back. Chipotle is amazing for what they are.
I don't know if they have staying power. It's kind of what I don't know.
Okay, that's
if that type of food is sustainable. It might be a fad. It could be a 10-year fad. Just like these burger places we were talking about before. These burger places, I think, are closing shop because that I think that was a fad of the last like 10, 15 years. The designer burger place.
Shake Shack?
Shack gourmet burger shops. I don't think that is going to last. A lot of them.
Yeah, let me check out Shake Shack. It's $104. Okay, this thing rallied. It's up 85% in the 1 year. It's up 42% year to date.
Is that the one that'll make it?
It's the one that I have no idea how they're not profitable, or they're not very profitable. They have a PE of 168 right now, and I think the forward isn't that much better. And they've been at that level forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like forward is still 102.
By the way, me, Fabio, and Blake all made high tides, and Fiscal all made high tide stock go up 10% this week. You're all welcome.
Do you think that was actually that?
Did you guys pump it?
I think we pumped it. Maybe.
I swear to God, it's actually up like, I don't know. That'd be hilarious if we did.
Look,
what was
literally.
But have you noticed with all the high tide investors, like half of them are really nice, but like the other half are just complete assholes?
Look at this shit. That's you right there. That one.
That's us. That's us.
$2. $2.10. You did that.
CFK.
We got sponsored, by the way. That just like ticker symbol U. We got sponsored by High Tide.
Yeah.
They paid us money.
Yeah.
70,000 each.
Raj dropped the check.
Yeah,
we had a meeting in Toronto last week. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll release photos soon of the trip.
I'll defer to you gentlemen on marijuana. Just not something investable to me. But
you just demonetized your whole channel. It's over.
No, but all the high tide people are like, it must be because it's a small cap, but like half of them are just like, you could wreak the autism. Like I'm sorry, it's just blaring through. Like it's just like, you never want to talk to somebody with sunglasses, and it's like, and like I swear to God, any second or like minute that you're not talking about high tide at any high tide theme show that we've done, we've gotten at least like one complaint that's like, yeah, I appreciate the first 20 minutes of the show, but it's, to be honest, it's quite unuseful towards this high tide discussion. It's like, okay, well, okay, we're sorry. We want more high tide.
Oh God,
it's interesting.
I haven't interacted with any of them.
You're lucky.
I saw that. I mean, some of them interacted in the first High Tide Roundtable we did, where there was one guy that Blake says he knows him, and he has like hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of shares of High Tide. And it's like he's all in High Tide. And I'm like, wow, that man is just like he's I hope high tide goes to 10 because, but
There's I don't know. I have my own micro nano cap plays that I just don't talk about them because it's I don't know, it gets because my drone company was smaller than actually high tide, I think, at the time. And I'm just like, I don't know if I want to talk about this with people while I was actively in it. So which I'm back in, but
there's a few small caps that I get a little worried about. Especially like, I mean, one that I have like a very small position in, and it's like I can't even get liquidity into it. And I'm terrified of the free thinkers just like going like, oh, Fabio has like not even a fraction of a percentage point in it. And I'm showing it because like, I'm doing an update. And then they'll go, oh, he has that much in it. I'm going to replicate his returns. So I'm going to go 15% in this stock. And I can just imagine all the ways it could go wrong. And then they can't get out.
when they're this small, you hit the sell button. There might not be anybody on the other end of it. You don't know. So.
Yeah. It's like, because I think it's not even about the size of market cap. I think it's just like so much of the stock is owned by two people that there's just no liquidity on public side. Like there's no liquidity. Yeah, it's like $111 million market cap. So
have you ever talked about SoFi, Ryan?
Nah.
Oh God,
Okay.
I would love this topic.
You never bashed it or liked it, nothing? Well, it doesn't pay a dividend, so.
Nah, yeah, I never got into it.
Dude, SoFi is a minefield. If you say anything slightly less than excited, like, oof. I go after Tanner because he's a clown for his SoFi take, and then it's fine. I'll get 50 comments. I have to delete 40 of them because they swear at me and stuff like that. But
yeah, we attack real influencers. We have to go after real men like Joseph Carlson
and Kemers. I can never say is it Cummers?
Kemmer.
Kemmer. I keep saying Kemers. I don't know how I feel. Well, this will be immortalized. The margin call. So
Never
it's kind of sad because we won't be able to see how terribly he's doing on Robinhood unless someone actually started doing the math every time he does.
Somebody
a video.
probably will. Somebody will.
Yeah, like I mean, you could literally every time he does a video, you could just punch in the count value, I guess. But like you won't have that big red number like we were used to.
That's why he did this, though.
Yeah, that's totally why he did this. Like, oh,
but
this man, he's lost ungodly amounts of money.
Too bad.
So he's such a cocky like jerk too, which is just I don't know.
Well, but now we know, the phrase been thrown around. He's a turbo manlet.
Yeah.
You're a tall guy, Ryan, right?
That's the rumor around town.
That's the rumor around town. Can you imagine you meet Cameron in real life? He's like,
I'll give him the Trump handshake. Give him yank.
I saw the video. They found like a video of him at the JRTC, and like there's a brief clip, and you can kind of figure out how tall he is compared to the guy next to him.
It's a I didn't see this video. I didn't see this video. Do you have it?
I don't.
Somebody in the chat. Somebody in the chat will.
I don't have it. I saw it, but like it just pans. Like it's not even that fat. Like he's not on screen that long, but yeah, he looks short. So.
How long ago was this posted? I will try to find it.
It's got to be months ago, maybe. I don't know. I've never seen like someone's just like, I don't know anything about investing, but if you challenge me, I'm going to ban you.
All right, found it. I found it.
Did you find it?
Just at me. Just at me to it.
Oh, the page was not found. They got rid of it.
Oh.
I'll find it. All right, I got his name. Let me cook. Phillips.
I have enjoyed some of them. Some of his main operatives in his Discord tried to join Strongman's Discord.
Oh,
So
tactic.
when I banned
Yeah,
them, I sent them a lovely parting message.
no,
Hope they'll laugh
tactical
off.
shoe shiner apparently joined my Discord like last week, and he said,
Was that, you really think that was him?
I think it was because he's so. I didn't think it was at first, but this guy joins the Discord. 2 days later, he posts a message. His name's Luca.
Yeah, I
He
saw that.
never said anything, and he just posts this message. He's like, he asked me, he's like, Ryan Dingling, which is my Discord name. I'm sorry, this is Mike, the tactical shoe shiner. I apologize for everything I've said about you. I messed up. I admit it was wrong. I'm downloading some videos right now, and I plan to post them. So then, like 2 days later, he posted a video. It's like, I'm going to be making a video series about all the things I've done wrong on YouTube and why you shouldn't do them. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, though, regardless. I don't know if I'll accept the apology. Hopefully he's alive to post it. Hopefully he's doing well in the emergency room. The videos that will never get posted.
It's a simple question. Like there's only one question to ask him. It's like, if you are making $30,000 a hot dog stand and you own like 20 of these things, why do you need yield max funds?
A hot dog stand?
I think that's what he claimed.
No.
Claimed like it's like,
He's got his 20. He's got his locations.
yeah. So like you do the math, you're like, if you're making that much money, which no one believes, like, well, then why do you need 80% yielding yield max funds? If you're cash flowing so like high in your business,
He would be of the problem that I told you. If you get to that point, you're literally trying to figure out ways to have less recognized income.
That's
Like
what I
you're
was-
literally just
yeah.
trying to stash it away and just hide it.
like if I was free cash flowing like Paul type money, I'd be in like New York municipal bonds, right? Like I'd be trying to stash money, mitigate tax liabilities, prevent
Right.
myself from shorting Nvidia and stupid shit like that. But
I have a picture of Khmer next to some students. So do the math.
I'm using the wall.
You interested?
and I see that looks like a 12-year-old girl, and he's about her height.
Hello? You need a high value man?
Oh,
That kid in the blue hoodie's probably 6 feet tall, and he mosses him.
unbelievable. Surprised they let him wear his uniform doing this. He's not in the Marines anymore. Like,
You gotta have a selling point, dude. You're walking through the cafeteria, and you gotta, sometimes gotta motivate you to go over and get the free pamphlet they got and the pencils. So
I didn't know what JRTC is until maybe a few years ago because I never heard of it. I did ROTC when I went to college, 3-year program. So think long and hard if you want to join the military. That's all I would say.
well, have you ever pooped next to another man?
I saw that. Yeah, he was talking. What the fuck's he talking? Like, we have bathrooms. Everywhere I went in the military, there were bathrooms. Like, they don't let you shit in the woods because it's a training area and that's a hazard. Like, people will dig trenches later. That's an environmental hazard. So there's porta potties. When you go overseas to Afghanistan, there's better facilities than here. There's bathrooms there too. They're like connexes. They're a bathroom connex, like those trailers. So the weird shit he said, like, I don't know if he ever deployed. I seriously doubt he ever deployed like I did, but
He used to tell stories about his missions, and it was the funniest thing, like training for like the US being taken over. And I was like, what?
well, he could have been
Ready for the
he could have been in charge of Op 4. So you'll have a unit deploying, let's say, and then you'll have these people that aren't deploying, but they're like they'll play like the opponents when you do like training exercises. So he might have done that shit, and it's like that's not deployment. Like, you were just helping other people go. We had so they brought in National Guards people to play the opponents when we would do like the game, like we would war game like taking a village or some shit, and those were just like National Guards guys helping us. Maybe he did that. I don't know. I never saw. Like, obviously, that would have been for the Marines, not for Army. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I never saw Marines because they were down south in Kandahar. I wasn't down south. So. I was with
Kamir
the
plays the
Germans.
Call of Duty campaign, and he describes the missions that way. And then the flashlight went on. We were going through a dark, stormy river late at night. I had my flashlight, it turned off. I couldn't see at all.
It's when he talks about like how he finds these funds, he's like, I go to stock analysis. You just search by yield, and then you go sort by highest yield, and then you just pick them. Like that was his criteria. And he's like, the higher the yield and the more frequent they pay you, the better, right? That was it. No idea what's actually in these things.
Well, someone asked Kemmer one of those hypothetical questions that Physical spoke about, and he couldn't understand it. And he says, like, it was a question about, well, what if you had $1 million in your retirement accounts? You wouldn't have taxes. And he's like, but I don't have $1 million.
And then he gets mad. That's the funniest part. It's never gonna fucking happen. You're retarded. Why you ask this question? It's stupid. What a stupid question. Ban him. You don't understand.
He gets really mad when people talk about taxes.
Oh,
The recent one.
He gets infuriated when people at all mention, I'm telling you, he does not pay his taxes, or he hasn't filed in like 5 years or some shit. But he's gonna just flee the country at some point when they catch him.
Yeah, it's insanity. This individual. So
I think at least the tactical shoe shiner has, maybe there's a glimmer of hope he could change. Maybe.
I don't know. I
don't know what kind of value he could possibly offer people in a trading group. I'm like, and he was bragging about wins and stuff, and I'm
it's
like,
$4 a month membership says otherwise, dude. I can't believe it's just
if your hot dog business is so good, why do you need to do technical analysis? Why are you so free in your days that you can go do that stuff? Like,
show me a successful hot dog business in the first place that isn't like sale. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Frank's Hot Dogs. Yeah. Show like a retailer or like a local small retailer. Show me one that's like, wow, they do a really good job. I'd invest money. Oh.
Hot dogs.
No, look, I can imagine that it might be profitable because your input costs are probably nothing. His greatest cost is probably whatever license he has to pay to have a virtual monopoly at those games, because that's what he has. Yeah, you're right. On the attendance on those, it's probably light, but
I never understood this whole argument. Is they just want to get their money back as fast as possible, and then once they get all their money back, it's free money going forward.
The free money argument's really, yeah, that is
just
something.
Like they're describing gambling, but they're calling it, this is gambling. That's the definition of gambling. People are like, I'll get my money back, and then I'm playing with the house money. I'll just take mine back. Like this mentality. But there's nothing about compounding returns in that theory. Like, it's so flawed. Like, it's the wrong goal.
Well, that's how you know they're not. They don't think in that way. They think in linear terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he gets mad if you doubt that he's going to be rich, because he does a compound growth calculator. He finds one and he puts like 80%, and then he does it for like a couple years, and he's like, "Wow, I want to be rich." And it's like, we're on like year 2, and you've moved nowhere. Like, you moved nowhere but down, and you've kept contributing money to this account. Like, he's not getting it, but.
When I bashed Tesla, it was like September 23. So they were paying, you got to do they were paying $1.16 because they've had splits, and now they're down. What are you down? 81 cents. Downtrending dividends, just like we said.
It's too bad.
Dumbasses.
Yeah.
We'll be here for the ride. So.
The things I do for a stock market crash.
We'll get one.
I was when you started buying SCHG, I was like, yeah, That boy.
I know, yeah.
I didn't.
Lincoln is copying me.
Lincoln. I told
Joe.
Lincoln. No, I told Lincoln to do it kind of because it's like the best fun for someone like your age.
Yeah.
I really, honest to God, think SCHG or there's this one too. It's the same methodology, but it's the Russell 1000, whereas the SCHG is 750. But like, man, you hold something like this for 40 years, like you're going to be a millionaire. With the compounding returns of growth, and I always tell people, like, you want a growth fund that buys Palantir and doesn't buy Peloton is kind of the way to look at these things. Like, because some of the growth funds are shit. They don't look at their methodologies like 1 year growth, and it's in. So
yeah. Then you throw a little into SHD as well. That's vacation money in a few years.
Don't ever, if you like dividends, just keep fucking doing it. Like, if it keeps you in the game, I mean, fuck everyone. It's not about optimization. It's about survival. That's really it. So
I'm probably gonna go 25% SHG and then 10 in SHD.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what's your allocation and everything.
11% in cash right now. You want like sector breakdown or like just general?
No, just general stock.
Okay. ETFs are about like SHG's around like 9% right now. SHD's around like 6. Still a lot of room to grow them. I'm kind of waiting till that's split in like a week so I can dollar cost average a little more effectively.
Real quick, your cash, what do you have that in?
It's just straight up cash.
Don't do that. Escov it.
Escov? Okay.
Yeah, Escov it. So you get some interest. Might as well.
Well, Schwab pays me interest. They pay me $1 every month, dude. It's premium money.
You're leaving.
I'll Escov it. Escov it.
Escov it, or the other one is T-bill. So they're T-bill. Okay. Or if you have, well, you don't have to really worry about taxes. There's also BOXX, which is another one that doesn't pay interest, and you just like hold that, and it just goes up. And then when you find something you want to buy, you sell, and then you deploy it. But yeah, do not have it in just cash. That's equivalent to cash. So it's the same thing. But yeah.
I'm not acclimated to having a lot of cash. I've kind of been conservative. I got a little bit of graduation money, the dividend dude method, I call it. So I've just been like, I'm not used to having a couple thousand on the sidelines. But yeah, I
make sure every time I have any extra, like if I have any cash left over at the end of the day of my broker, before I close it off, and so if I'm not on tomorrow or the day after, even if I go away for a week, I make sure to put it into a, like an SCOV, a T-bill, BOXX, something like that. So you're just generating interest, and it's risk free. Genuinely, it's high risk. It's a high yield savings account product.
Don't jinx it.
No, the U.S. government collapses. Everything else is done too. So it's like it's all good.
Yeah, and then like the rest of it's in stocks. So.
Okay. What's your number one individual stock right now?
Guess.
Target.
Nah, it's not even big.
Starbucks.
It's that's the second. Visa the biggest.
Visa's the biggest. Wow. Did you add recently on that dip?
I did. I thought it would go down more, but it's I got it 269.
Do you have any all right, so you have Visa, you have Starbucks. Do you still like Starbucks here? They rallied off of that CEO joining.
It's a hold.
It's a hold.
Yeah, I'm the cult leader. It's always a buy, but it's a hold right now for me.
So what do you want him to do? Have you thought of that?
Lower prices.
Like, if I don't know, like it doesn't have to be 5 things, but like what's the list of the CEO needs to do this according to me?
Lower prices. He's got to do it in a healthy and sustainable way, as Pacquiao Singer would say. He talks about like bringing the Starbucks experience back. I think like they got to build a better in-store experience. I think too many people just go through the drive-thrus or like are in and out of there.
We've talked about that before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to see stores closed? And if the some stores, right?
Depends where.
So did you listen? Acquired?
Yeah,
Acquired.
I did like 3 hours of the Acquired Starbucks show.
One really interesting point I found in that Acquired episode was Howard Schultz did not give Starbucks. They didn't have a territory like a McDonald's has a franchise territory. His decision making on opening a new Starbucks when they were expanding was based on their models of how fast they could repay the cost of opening it.
Yeah.
That was like the most interesting piece he said. So that means now that if you're so they that's why they had 3 Starbucks in the same fucking mall, right?
Yeah.
That their methodology could make that happen. But like they probably should close some of the stores now because that's not where they are. They're still trying to grow it apparently though.
There is something that did you see what your CEO is trying to do? He's trying to actually focus a little bit. I know he's going to focus on other things with the core business, but he's going to focus a lot on their, what's the term used for it? Their products that they sell in stores, like the energy drinks.
Oh,
They have the distribution partner Pepsi. They're going to compete against Celsius hard.
Don't tell Joseph Carlson that, dude. We're in a caffeine bubble. Okay, you see that picture in the top left?
This one?
I have been to that store. I believe that's in Chicago. It's across from Wrigley. There's actually, I don't know if it is, but if you look up Wrigley Field Starbucks, I went there the day that CrowdStrike crashed and like nothing would work. And there's like no seats inside of there. Oh, wow. This is actually, but yeah, like players will go across from there. No, that's the reserve. That's like I went there too. I had to.
The new remodel I do not like.
I was trying to find a photo, like the new remodeled Starbucks. It's like gray concrete and metal chairs and like the whole and like that was another thing Howard Schultz talked about with Acquired. He's like he wanted this specific vibe where you could go and sit there all day and have a coffee and congregate.
Yeah.
Like that was part of Starbucks. Like you said, I feel like that's been taken from them.
Yeah.
Because now it's just like people go and get out, like the DoorDash shit.
Yeah, it's for sure.
Can he bring that back though? Because like, do customers care? I guess so. It's easy to say they should bring back a warmer store with like the fireplace, but maybe people don't care. But I would try. I think he should try.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there was a Starbucks at my school, and people would sit there all day studying. Buying coffee after coffee or whatever drinks. So I don't know.
The real ones will get the refills. They'll just sit there all day and rack up them free refills.
A lot of people don't know that you can do that.
I know. But that's,
do you think so where should they prioritize their money? Like, do you want to see them pay the debt down? Do you want to see them lower prices, which is going to affect margins and decrease their free cash flow? So what do they hit first?
That's it.
Do you want more product? Do you want more drink product offerings? Do you want them to revise the food, you think?
Who is going to Starbucks for the food? Have any of us actually eaten Starbucks food?
Yes.
I buy it on the throughway. Honestly, that's the only time I ever buy it. Because
over McDonald's? Over McDonald's?
They don't have McDonald's on the throughways.
I'll do it over McDonald's.
Well, Fabio would love this. So we have Chick-fil-A's at the throughway, which is at the one highway that we pay tolls in New York.
Yeah.
All the rest stops now have Chick-fil-A's, which, are closed on a major travel day for people. So,
oh yeah, Sundays.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A is goated.
Yeah. McDonald's, all the mass turnpikes are McDonald's though, which is painful. But
if they ever went public, I'm sorry, Dan, but I'll be team Chick-fil-A. You can keep your McDonald's. Chick-fil-A.
No.
Chick-fil-A.
If Chick-fil-A went public, I'd probably bail on McDonald's and buy as much as I could. I don't care what the valuation is. I would just, if I could, 100,000. Chick-fil-A is like a monster. So
monster of a company.
Yeah. It is a monster.
I mean, like me personally, like when I go to Starbucks, I'm not going to disclose how many times I go. That's confidential information. But when I
You
do
go.
happen to go, yeah. But
You
when
have
I
a
do
problem.
happen to go, I get a coffee. I just get a coffee.
Yeah.
I'm not. I just go through the drive-thru. I'd rather enjoy it at home. Like I think more people are kind of going towards that.
You don't want to
Yeah.
touch the concrete slab.
No, yeah, I like to touch the slab and give it a whiff.
Give it a whiff and a hawk tour. Yeah.
Yeah, the fireplace would be nice though. He definitely wants
Fireplace,
to
fake
elevate
books.
the in-store experience though.
So if I go to Starbucks, I don't know. I just make my own coffee at home. I get the teas at the Starbucks. I don't go for
Wow.
the coffee. I get like the matcha tea because I make my own coffee, and my coffee I couldn't even compare it to Starbucks.
I drink a coffee and then an espresso. So there is a really good coffee shop near me, like a local place, if I can get there on the weekends.
But Starbucks still
More-
fulfills, like if there was one on the way to my office, I'd probably go to it on occasion. There is one that's like kind of off, but no.
I'd like to shrink the selection, bring back the old atmosphere, pay down some debt. Wouldn't mind them cutting the dividend. That
How do you feel about that? How do you
do
feel
you
about
think
that?
they should cut the dividend in half?
Let me take a look at the payout ratio right now because
50%.
it's 50. Oh, that's not bad.
I mean, you got to remodel. You got some work to do with this company. Should they be paying that dividend out?
Well,
50%.
earnings did they go down? I think earnings might have come down a little bit temporarily. Let me quickly check.
Nah, I was
No,
blue ball,
60.
dude. I thought they were gonna cut prices because the week after Nickel got appointed as CEO, my coffee came out to like $3.30. Typically, it's a little more than that, by about like $1, a little less than that. But I'm like, no way, he actually cut the prices. I'm like, this is epic, and no, it was a glitch or something.
I don't know if they can give on price. I mean, they're not that expensive compared to every other coffee shop. Every other coffee shop, there is no. Yeah. By the way, if you guys want cheap coffee at Starbucks, just get the double shot of espresso with cream or milk.
How much is it?
$2, $2.50.
A large? Or
It'll
venti?
feel like
Sorry.
well, you can ask them to fill whatever, but it's a double shot of espresso,
Okay.
and then you ask for milk. They don't charge you for the milk or the cream. It's like $2.50, something like that. Yeah.
I might have to try that tomorrow. Double shot espresso with milk.
Before we sign off, because I got to work tomorrow, just want to say we got a deal. The union got a deal.
Crisis
Is this the port workers?
Yeah.
The long.
'Cause I attacked
Wow.
people across Discord and fought for the union.
How much did they get? What did they get?
Yeah.
62%. And then they'll work out the rest of the deals later.
Oh, but did they get the thing that
the automation language?
yeah.
They're going to work on that. So they have the parameters, I guess, to get them back to work, and then they'll finalize it. Which is an interesting way to do it.
Biden didn't make him go back.
No, there's no damn way a Democratic president was going to do that. There was no way. But maybe people don't know. Yeah, he could actually. It is
from the 1940s. It was like 1947.
Yeah, because of the war.
My new favorite slang is middle class folks. After hearing the Tim Walz debate the other night, now I like to, us middle class folks here, we don't have it like the big guys.
All I would tell people, go to Longshoreman Reddit and read some of the people actually that work at these places, and don't just read the talk. Don't just listen to the talking heads from Fox and CNN and all this bullshit. like there's real people in these unions on this Reddit, and they'll tell you what they actually, what is going on, and how they were affected during COVID, and they saw these companies get these huge these huge increases in revenue, and they got nothing out of it. So I know what they felt, because I got nothing out of COVID, and I was working at crazy hours, but our contract was not up until 2022. So
Wait till you hear about the Starbucks union.
That was,
I was so stupid. I got so pissed off.
I think they really, some of those people botched the shit out of that.
Oh, that was horrible. Like you're
yeah.
It started in Buffalo too. You know that?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just the problem. It's a bunch of minimum wage workers that have no, like, it's kind of hard to unionize a completely non-skilled workforce.
Yeah.
Like these people have skills, like they heavy equipment operators, a lot of them. So anyway,
they're actually useful.
Team America, because a lot of these companies that were represented by the U.S. Maritime Alliance are not American companies.
Because we killed all of them.
So go to hell.
We
I don't care about the Dutch and the Chinese and the Thailand shipping company. American jobs.
But now I think, like, but don't you think now it's more definite than not that it's going to be pushed for automation and less jobs in the future for that? No, because I was reading into ABB's earnings reports, and it's like,
let's be real. Okay, what you had the cruise taxis that we found out after they hit people. They admitted there's like 5 people on the back end for every taxi driver that was out of the cars. There's no labor savings there. Then you had the AI drive-through systems. Again, you're replacing entry-level workers with engineers on the back end. Like, I don't know.
I'm not saying loss of labor.
I'm just saying the feasibility of people saying just automate the ports. I'm like, okay, you're replacing a guy driving like operating a forklift, maybe makes $20 to $40 an hour. You're going to replace him with like 3 engineers and a guy that has to repair the machine still. So I think, like, to say that it's because it's automated, it's cheaper or more efficient. Like, I question that whole line of thinking. We're not there yet. So,
I think from what I saw, it's a little different from like because it's a controlled environment. It's not like a dynamic environment. So there's like dynamic environment automation and like controlled environment automation. So like think of an Amazon warehouse. The ones that they're building now that are like a lot of it's automated, and then you need way less people in those warehouses that China was pushing for even in like the 2010s, and US was catching up in some regards to that. It's just because Amazon had to retrofit old ones because they were already so big. And then JD and Baba had an advantage there because they were building new ones. But I think you might have saw the video where the guy was complaining about it, and he was showing all like the things moving all around on their own. That's like humans can't go in there. It's a controlled environment. And so there's less room for the error because they're all communicating with one another, and there's not going to be that crash, so to speak, that you have to worry about. And then even like the crane that comes down and picks it up. I found all the companies that make these, and these are companies that I was pointing out. They had abnormal profits in COVID, and then they're all normalizing. They're all going to have no profits in like a year or two from now. It's very normal. And then they're going to have like 10 or so years of like shitty profits. But now their input costs on labor have gone up by 60 something %, but the profits will not have. And they rely on having the 2 to 3 years. Granted, COVID seems like on that cyclical cycle to be a extreme cyclical cycle, but there's no growth in that industry. Like there's no growth in shipping beyond global GDP growth. If global GDP grows like 50%, then yeah, they're going to grow a lot. There's going to be a lot of room for everyone. But it's just, I don't know, because it's 60% over how long? It's not immediate 60%. It's 60%.
I think it was like 5 years or something.
So in like 5 years' time, I guarantee you, like these guys are not going to be they're still going to pay it, but there's going to be more of an incentive because they're not going to want their margins to get crushed. Hopefully they have a lot of cash piled up because that's usually what they have to do during the boom times. They have to stockpile cash. They have to make the necessary CapEx investments for the next cycle. You have the other issue coming about where various jurisdictions are forcing you to do hastened CapEx cycles because of like environmental regulations. You have to get new ships, or you're going to get taxed, or you have to buy the tax credits in order to, satisfy that, or the environmental credits. So it's getting more and more complicated for like an industry that's already kind of shitty. And then we know that there are some docks in the US that are not unionized and some that are. And the ones that are not unionized, I mean, they're going full throttle globally. Even like US won't be, I don't think we should allow ourselves to be behind the world. Everyone else is doing this. So then, like, imagine if the US is like, yeah, we're not going to automate. We're going to enforce this. And then all the other countries have like much more advanced ports than us. I don't think the US would want that look, or we wouldn't want that. It would be a bad look for us. We're supposed to be the United States.
Well,
We're not supposed to be that.
We'll have to see baby steps. I don't think parts of it. I don't know. It's not realistic to say automate the ports in the US.
No, but less people, and I think that's fair and fine. I think that's automation isn't something that everyone should be scared of. It's just like it's going to alleviate labor, and the economy is going to grow in other directions. It's like when the layoffs happened in tech. That was good for the startup economy because startups now suddenly had a lot of people that were maybe not the S tier employees because the big techs weren't going to fire them. They kept the S tier employees, but you had like B tier and C tier big tech employees, maybe some A tier that weren't available before, and you can still do a lot of progress. And then sometimes an employee at a big tech firm, this is at any firm, they might be B tier at that firm because they're underutilized and they're just not able to grow. But then now you put them in a new environment and then they just flourish. And now they're going to move up from a B tier to maybe an S tier employee, and you'll see them do crazy things. So it's like that's like just how in nature you need the fire to burn the forest to keep the forest healthy. Within societies, within the economy itself, you need that eventual like resetting of things. I think that's fine. It's healthy. We've been through this before. So that was my only issue, is the automation thing. The wages or whatever. It's like,
we're at an hour and a half. I think we good place to cut it off.
It's past my bedtime.
You got school. I got
school tomorrow.
So I have one class. It's nice. 10 o'clock to 11.
Oh, good. So you got the Ryan Dengler show, because not Ryan Dengler, because some dude stole that from the bodybuilder.
We're still live streaming. He's not natty. He's not natty. I am. That's all I have to say.
You can find and then you got Cash Flow Kings growing, and
Don't find me. Actually, don't do it.
So, any parting thing, Fabio? Plate's coming.
McDonald's is better than Starbucks.
Oh, shut up.
Just trying to. You own both, so it's not.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Sign up for Cash Flow Kings and Capital Mindset. There, plug everybody.
Yeah.
So
Give us your money. Yeah.
Give them.
We control the media.
All right. Have a good night.